Welcome to Four Wives on the Mic presents Wives' Tales. This podcast is all about wives sharing their experiences, about being a wife, about to become a wife, or previously being a wife. It's about having a peek behind the closed doors. This season, Wives' Tales will focus on adapted stories from the lives of real wives. Each episode will feature one or two stories, each of which will be completely anonymous and will act as merely a snapshot into the life of what it's like to be a married woman today. This week's tale features a little spice and a lot of alcohol. My name is Mrs Nikki Tunji. I hope you enjoy the story. Want another? She could smell the remnants of the sweet alcohol lingering in his breath. I really shouldn't, she said, lightly slurring her words as she tilted her glass towards him. He smiled as he poured out the sweet almond liquor into her glass. She giggled. It had been a while since they had spent some time alone like this. She put the glass to her lips, holding eye contact with him. Taking a large gulp of the brown liquor, she slowly rose from her seat and slid on top of him, planting her lips onto his, slipping her tongue into his mouth. She teasingly allowed the liquid to trickle into his. His hands grabbed at her voluptuous round buttocks and slowly worked his way up towards her face, his hands gently cupping each cheek. She loved this about him, the way he could be rough and gentle, rock hard and smooth like chocolate. He caressed her face while kissing her passionately. Her head was spinning, unsure whether it was the alcohol or this man intoxicating her bloodstream. She was addicted and she liked it. They had broken up years ago, but something kept them in touch. Something kept them in contact. Every now and then, just like clockwork, they would meet to get their fix. Only a couple of hours ago, she had said goodbye to her husband, giving him a kiss on the cheek, saying, "I'm going to miss you, babe." And in truth, it wasn't a lie. She would miss him. Her husband's 2 frequent trips abroad left her lonely and wanting. She had no idea what he told his wife, how he was able to sneak away, and frankly, she never asked. Partners were off limits, an unwritten rule both strictly adhered to. He had now begun working his way down her neck, slowly, sensually kissing his way down, sending her into an intoxicated spin. She had to hold on. She grabbed hold of his chest, pushing him back down onto the couch. She began to unbutton his crisp white shirt. She wondered if his wife had ironed it. It looked good. It looked real good, she thought. She sat up, head still spinning, but now confused by the thoughts running through her mind. She grabbed her glass and took another long swig. This time she swallowed it, letting the warmth fill her throat in its wake. She moved to put it back on the table. "Finish it," he said, his eyes firm and commanding. She did as she was told. "Stand up. Take your dress off. Keep your shoes on." Keeping her eyes locked on him, she did as she was told, but slowly. He stood up. She could see that he was enjoying the show. He took her by the hand, leading her towards the bedroom. He stopped shy of the doorway, choosing to lean her against the wall. Without another word, he had hoisted her up onto his waist. There were plenty of things she was feeling. electricity coursing through her. She closed her eyes, taking in the moment, the alcohol, and him. So, what did you think of that tale? Ever thought of a wife cheating? If you are a wife, ever thought of cheating? That could be something we discuss later. Make sure you join the Instagram and join in the conversation on there. Our next story is called The Trench. She stood in front of the door, its paint cracking and peeling away due to the harsh cold winters and the too few hot summers. She's knocked twice already, and there's still no answer. This had seemed a good idea an hour ago. Now with each tap to the hollow frame, her confidence was beginning to seep away. She was beginning to feel super aware of herself. She noticed the emptiness of the hallway, the stale scent of bleach lingering in the air, the brownish stain suspiciously tucked away in the corner. She tried not to think about it. She knocked again, feeling her boss bitch swagger drain away, leaving behind a whole heap of regret. She felt a breeze gently unwrap her mat. Wishing she had gone with the thong idea, she quickly slapped down the too thin trench coat, which was doing very little to nothing to protect her from the elements. Her cab had long gone, and her phone only had 2% battery. She contemplated facing winter's chill and the long walk back home. This was beginning to feel like a terrible idea. She had seen it in a movie once. A bold woman, high heel, a long trench, and nothing else. Her lover's apartment was glossy, a penthouse in some sexy city somewhere. Not quite the run-down council estate she was currently stood in. In the movie, the bold, sexy, slender woman was primed and poised with orchestral music perfectly timed to the swing of her hips, the clicking of her heels on the marble floor, her manicured acrylic nails pressing on the elevator buttons, and the ding that revealed her onto his floor. Her lover standing at the doorway, patiently waiting to receive her. This was not that. All the way to the 4th floor, she had buckled and tripped up the stairs, so that by the time she arrived at his door, she could feel the perspiration just starting to trickle under her right breast. She could hear her friends now. Babe. Served with extra helpings of, oh, mate, and a dash of, what's a mark? No turning back now. She would see this through. I mean, you only live once, right? And if not now, then when? She thought. She went to knock again, but stopped. She could hear shuffling, footsteps approaching, then a turn and a click, and with a creak, the door slowly swung open. Well, hello, trouble, he said, with a delicious smile that hung from ear to ear. That smile spoke volumes. At 6'6", he stood a good foot taller than her. He would have to bend to hug her. And every time he ever did, he would linger for a second too long, then whisper in her ear as he rose. The gentle warmth from his breath sent electricity right through her. This man had an effect on her. He made her want to be reckless. As she entered his flat, she opened her mat. Without another word, he quickly shut the door behind her. I wonder what they're about to get up to. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Four Wives on the Mic presents Wife Tales. Please do get involved and do let me know what you think, what your thoughts are, and if you have any suggestions or ideas for another story, do send them my way. Until next time.